Hello everyone, and if you have downloaded this e-commerce product listing PHP template, then you will have these 5 files in here. So let's get started with the first one. Here you could see this one opens. Let's see the text. This is where you would add the main text. So let's say I'll add a smartwatch. And then here in the second rectangle panel, you could Control T to change the size and match it however you wish. If you don't want this to be shown, just disable it. But make sure you change the smartwatch color like this to something that you want it to look want the product to look like. I'll change this to something like, let's say, well, I'll just disable it. Sure, why not? This is the paragraph. Here you could add your description of the product, whatever you want. Okay, the font I'm using is well, there we go. The font I'm using is Lato, Lato. You could find it for free on Google Fonts. So the next thing I'll show you is the main image. It is marked with red label right now here. Just double click here and then go to your files and just drag and drop an image. Now this one doesn't have a transparent image, so you have to make sure you add a transparent image in this in this section, because if you just not add a transparent image and then you go here, you could see how it looks weird. There's a border around here. So let me just add the transparent one that I've made from this product. Make sure you disable the older products and boom, Control S, it's here. The product is here. As soon as you press Control S or just do file save, it will match it here. Here you could change the size by control pressing T, rotate it however you wish it to be. The next thing I'll show you is the features. Now let me just disable the 2 and 3 feature. Let's just go on the first one. Now here you could move it, the whole border, the whole group. Let's open the feature 1 panel, and here you could change the text. So I'll add like best strap or something. Here we will change the border color however you wish it to be. Let's say I'll change it to this color. I'm just trying to find a good color from this image, so we could change it. But let's say you don't want the whole border, this one, to have the same color. That time you will need to disable this this color fill. Open the lines and border group, and here are all those elements. So this is the border, this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the second end circle. Here you will go it in the property sections. In the stroke section, you could change however you wish it to look like. Okay, let me just do white. Why not? And then here you could do same section to like every other ones. I'll do this same right now just to show. I'll keep same for everyone, but that's just showing that you could have different colors for each section. But now let's say, well, before that, let me just show you how to change the image. It will be same as changing the main image. When you open the group, you could see there's one section called image 1 here with red label. Just click on this, add your image whichever you have. I'll simply drag it from my other Photoshop group or panel, and then just drag and drop it however you wish it to be. Make sure you disable the previous ones which were added by default, and let's say you have to make sure it's in the group. If it is right now, if you add it outside group, and let me just Control S, you see how it looks weird. It goes outside the border. That's why what you need to do is make sure it's in the group section, so that whatever you added in this one will automatically be turned into this circle section. Let's Control S and it's in here. Perfect, looks good, right? Now the next thing is the customization of these panels, these lines. So let's go to the lines and borders again. If you go to the line 1 section in the properties panel, in the width section, you could change however the length you want it to be. So let's make it bigger. You see it changes here. Now I don't want this to look like this, so in the line 2 section we will need to change it. So let's match this one, and let's say I want it to go a bit like this. Well, not because we are pointing it to the strap, I'll do it like this. But if you wish to do it, you could make it bottom like this too and have a section here. But right now I want it to have a smaller section like this, so I'll change the width and just add the end circle wherever I wish it to be. So you see, boom, we have done it quicker, as fast as possible. Now let's go to the feature 2, feature 3. You could see these are the same sections, same way, same tags, border, lines, everything is similar. Now let's say I want to add one more feature. Let's say I just made this size smaller like this. And one thing I want you to know, that when you change the size of this sections, you could see this one changes what you call this stroke width changes of this circle sections. The reason is because the stroke width is same when you change the size of the whole group. So what you need to do is, once you do is you made this smaller, you just need to go to the lines and borders again, go to the end circle, and here in the stroke, this section, you could just change whichever size looks good, and you could see it looks better. It looked like this, now it looks better. This border looks different, so let's just go to the image border and do same. You could make it bigger or smaller, however you wish it to be. You could also disable the complete borders if you wish to. Just add the section, but let's just do this one. So let's do 5 right now. I'm just showing you the customization. I'm not trying to do it perfectly right now. So now let's say I want to add one more section. So I've added feature 2 like this, feature 3 something like this. I want feature 4 now. I have so many features in my products. So let me just go to and just copy any of these sections. So I'll do the feature 1. Let's say you could do any features, you could just copy it. The way I copied it by pressing left alt and did this one, but the better way is in the project section, select the group and drag it here, or press Ctrl J. That way you don't mess it up. So sorry. Sorry. So let me just drag it below like this. But that's one big problem this way when you do like this. So that thing is, if I change any image here, let's say like this, it is changing for both this one. We don't want that to happen. We want this to be different and this to be different. It's pretty simple to do. In the newly created copy, let me just rename it. Double click to rename. Press feature 4. In this one, the image section, just right click and do new smart object via copy and delete the previous one. And if you do any changes around here, it will automatically do the change here, except without changing this one. And look how good this looks right now. You could add any elements. You could add any section, change the straps. If you wish to, let's say if I go to the feature 2 section, you could even disable this one, make this lines fully width, just drag and drop around like this, stroke it to let's say 5, and see how quickly it changes. You could create different styles, different ways, you could even rotate it like this, go to this section and match it here. You will need to match it here like perfectly. I'm just showing you how to do it. And then here you could see you could add like 7, 8, however you wish to add. You could even delete whichever you don't want. That's how customizable this template is. In the background image, if you double click, you could choose whatever color you want in the background. Ctrl S, and you could see you could even add your own designs. For the time being, I'll just do this. You could add your own background, just drag and drop it. If you don't want any background, you could just disable it. You'll see it is pretty customizable template. however you wish it to look like. So let's go to the second template. Now let's open and try the second infographics template. Once you click this is what you will be shown. This is the main image. It is marked with red. Just double click here, drag your image, make sure it is a PNG file so that there is no transparency. That's the transparency there. For example, this one has a white border, so it will look weird. It will not look that weird right now because of the background is also white. So make sure you add a transparent image, right, like this. I'll add a transparent image, but as this background is white, you could add a video, or sorry, the image with white background without any worries. But let's say if you want to add a solid color like this, then it would look weird. But right now we are just showing the template. So in the main image, you could simply just drag however you want to scale it. You could scale it. Here is the project steps. So like smart watch tutorial, something like this. Same, just click and add your text, whatever it is. Now the step 1 we will see right now. So let's open the step 1. This is the text which you need to add. So like turn on the smart watch, something like this. This is the border color. So let's say I want to change the border color to like this black color. You could do it. If you want to disable the border, you could just disable this one. And this is where the image can be added. It is marked with red label. So just oops. So let me just go to the step ones. Okay, this will look, let me just close this one. This is okay. So let's just double click and do this one. And here you could just simply drag and drop your image from wherever you have, from your file location, or from like this from another project files. Just make sure you drag it in here and then disable the previous image, which was this one. And if you add it here, it will look weird. The reason is like this, you see. So make sure it is in this border, so it will automatically turn it into a circle. Go in this one, and you could see it is changed around here. You see, easy. Now same with this is the arrow. Just change the color and boom, it is black colored now. It is same for the step 2, step 3. Step 2 and step 3 is same with these lines. But let's say you want to add more steps. So let me just select this ones and move it up a bit. And let's say I want to add one more step here. Or let's just make it a bit smaller. Okay. So what you need to do is in the step 3 section, or whichever step you want, you could just duplicate it. You could press left alt by selecting this and just dragging it. Or you could just drag it here, or you could press Ctrl J to copy it. There are multiple ways to do it. Now let's go and open the copy. I'll just drag it below. So this text, I will go into the character section or paragraph section and change it to this alignment. Drag it around here. And then you could see there's one big problem when you do it like this, that if I go and add an element here, let's say it changes for both of this section. We don't want that to happen. We want this to be different and this to be different. So the simple way to do it is, let me just close it. Go to the step 3 image, right click and create new smart object via copy and delete this one. And in this copy one, you could add any of your image you want. And you could see it will only change this section. And let's move it around here. And right now we need one more arrow. So let's just duplicate the arrow, bring it below, Ctrl T, right click, flip horizontal, and boom, we got this. It is pretty quick to do, pretty easy to do. If you want to add, let's say you could even do your own customizations. For example, if I could remember, something like this. You could do your own customization to add stuff like this, a border or stuff. You could add your own background behind this one so that there's a background. There's so much customization you could do in this complete this created template. You could even change the way it looks. So let's say step 1, you could change it to like step 2, step 3, step 4 without any of these sections. Or maybe you just go here, flip it horizontally, rotate it, and do something like this. And then just make sure you do it for all of it to match it. Just create however the customization you wish it to be. Something like this. You could create your own section, own way with this previously created elements. So let's get to the new ones. Now let's see the third template. So the first thing we will see is this up section, the about text feature. So here you could just add like smart watch features, something like this. Now the next section is the feature one. So let me just open it. Or before that, let's just change the main image. Here you could say this is the main image. Just double click here, add your own main image. I'll just drag it from another of my project files like this. I'll do something like this. Disable this one. Control S, and here is the full image. Or maybe just if you have like this, and just maybe like this, so that like this. You could even make it bigger. You will need to change some of this to match it like this. So right now I'm not doing it perfectly because of a quick tutorial. I wanted to make it quick. Now let's go to the features. So this is feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4. And let's open feature 1. Here is the text one. So let's say like a glass, like protective glass or something. And then it's there. Now you can see it doesn't matches the what you call the text. So let's just click Control T on this feature rectangle and drag it fully like this. Now let's say if you don't want the this rectangle, you could disable it. If you want the different color, you could do it like this and change, let's say, this to black color like this. So you have options to do so much stuff. This should be like this so that it looks better. Something like this, right? Now the feature one image is just double click here, add your image. I'll just drag this one. You could also drag it from your explorer like this. You could drag it from here also. So there's no worries. I'm just doing it from my other Photoshop panel because it's quicker. Control S, and here you could see the image is added. Now let's say it's not looking perfectly. I don't want it to look like this. So the feature one image, I could just drag it around here. I could drag it like this, or however, it will always be in this section. Sorry. And then here is the background color. You could change it to however you wish it to be. So you see it's as quick as to do it. You could even move this section. You could even make it smaller. You could even do, let's say, select this all, make it bit smaller. Well, we will need to do it a lot smaller though, thing which I'm trying to do, I guess. Yeah, it will be like way too small. So you could do like this, and then maybe I have a big one like this. You could even create your own design with this one. Let's say right now I've done like feature 2, right? Like this. Feature 4. I want one more feature to be added right now here. So what we need to do is just simply select this folder and drag it here, or press Ctrl J. And in the copy section, you could just move it around here, let's say like this. But the problem is, if I change any image around in this one, if I, let's say, change an image to this stuff like this, you could see it changes for both of this section. We don't want it to happen. We want this image to be different and this image to be different. So what we need to do is, in the newly created copy, I will right click and do new smart object via copy and delete the previous one. And whatever I do in this section, let me just close this one. Whatever I do in this section, something like this, Control S, would not get affected in the feature 4. Yeah, you could change it like this one and even add feature 5. Oops, double click, like elegant look. Go to this one, make it full, looks perfect. You could change it however you wish it to be. Even the background can be changed to this one. Perfectly done. Just make sure you match everything. And if you want to add like a, let's say, a background around here, you could simply choose the rectangle tool, select this one, go to the property section and add some squareness to it. Maybe too much right now, but like something like this, and then choose the color whichever you wish it to be. So that was the third product. Let's see the fourth one now. Now let's see the fourth panel. So that this one is the all text section. Here you open it. This is the main middle section. If you don't want it, you could disable it. Do anything you want here. This is the product 1. You could move it however you wish it to be, wherever you want it to be, like this. Same with product 2, product 3. So let's just add any text you want, like smart watch glass, something like this. So let's just close this one. Let's change the main image first, which is this one. Just double click, add your image. You could add it from your file explorer too, or any one way you want to add. Let's just Control S. Suddenly the product is added here. You could Control T to change its design the way you want it to look. So let's say I want it to look like this. So I've added it here like this. Now let's go to the product 1. This is this section. There's product 2, product 3, product 4, product 5. Sorry, feature 1. You could move it around. Once you move it around, make sure you also move the text. Something like this. So let's say I want to add a feature 1. Here, this is the background color of the border. So let's say I want to change the different border. You could do it. Could disable the border if you don't want it to be. Sorry for this one. I've been talking for too long that my throat is giving up. So this is where you could change the border, and this is where you could change the image. So I'll just drag the image to here like this, disable the previous ones, and in the infographics template you could see it is changed to this one. You could even move it around. Here you see, mainly the thing is it's better to move it around here and then try to figure it out, but sometimes it's just quicker to do it by this one, or not sometimes but always. And here you could see there's a background section in this one. So let's say if you don't want that colored background, you could do it. You cannot move it too much because then it will show this thing that, and if it's showing this thing, you could simply make sure that your element is in the perfect position, so that whenever you move it wouldn't mess it up. So let's say like this one. Now it's same with every one of this. You could go to the feature 1 and even drag it to make it smaller, like this one, and you could see it is smaller right now. And it's same with feature 2, feature 3, feature 4, feature 4, feature 5. The text is handled from this section. Now the way to add more features, Let's say I want to add more feature, right? Then the way to do it is, let me just move this once around. So let's say I move this one here, this one here, this one here, and feature 5 to here. I'll quickly move the text to so it looks somewhat decent. Feature product 3, product feature 4, 5. You could change whatever text, whatever element you want with the text. But now we want more feature, like feature 5 or feature 6, sorry. So select the feature 5 group or any group you want. Just drag it here or press Ctrl J to duplicate it. And in the copy section, you could just simply move it around. And same as you change the other features, you could change it. But there's one problem. That is, if you go below and change the main image, let's say I drag it around here. Let's just disable this thing. Control S. You could see both of these are changing. We don't want both of this to be changed like this. Let me just make this smaller. Try to find where it is showing. So like you see, both the images are same. We don't want that to happen. So what we need to do is, we need to, in the copy group 1, in the image section, you see this one, we need to right click and create new smart object via copy and delete the previous one. Now this one will be completely different than this one. You see, as soon as I change this one didn't change, and simply you can then move it around or make it smaller and whichever section you want to show. And this one, the 5th one, will not be affected by the 5th one will not be affected by the 6th one and stuff like that. And for the text one, you could simply do the same thing. You just duplicate the text. The way I duplicate it quickly is by pressing or by selecting the layer which you want and holding left alt and just dragging it here, or you could just drag it here or press Ctrl J. This looks like a mess, but this is just an explanation, so bear with me. Now let's see the last one, the last pack. Now this is the last PSD template from the pack, the Infographics template pack. So let's see it. Now here is the main text. If you close and enable, you could see it. Here you could change the text which you want. So let's say smart watch. Maybe just do this one so that it looks better. Just move it around so it looks better. Skin friendly, and this one section, just add whatever you want, like perfect watch for perfect people, I guess, something like this. Maybe perfect watch for perfect people, something like this. And then here is the background color which is showing here, you see. So let's say I don't want it to be like this one. You could make it smaller however you wish it to be, like this. If you hold left alt, you could do it from both sides like this. You could disable it. I'll just disable it for now, or maybe turn it to white again, like this. Now let's go to the bottom of this template, and here you could see a layer or this background section. Just double click on it, and here you could choose the color that you wish it to be. So let's say if I turn it to black, it will turn this to black. And you could add any background design if you have downloaded it from somewhere, or if you have created, you could just drag it here and it will pop up around here. Let me just show like one example. Let's say you dragged and a product like this, and it will suddenly change it around with this style. Let's just disable it for now. Now let's go to the main image. This is where your product image should go. So just drag it from wherever you have the file, from your file explorer or from your other projects. Let me just close this, and once you copy paste, or sorry, not copy paste, you save it, it will automatically match it here. So let's just make it so that it looks good, like this. You see, it looks good. Now in this one, this is the main feature, the one which shows the main component. If you don't want, you could disable it. Just open it. This is the border color which should be shown like this. If you don't want the border color, just disable the border and there's no border. Now in this one, you simply need to go and add your own image here. So let's say I add an image here, disable this, maybe have a text, a background color if you wish to show the background color, and then suddenly this one is different. The reason I've added background color in case you want to show like some edge like this. If you don't add a background color, then it will look like this weird. So make sure this is shown for a transparency purpose. So like this, and then you could drag it however you wish it to be, you see, and it will always be in this circle. So let's close this. Now the next section is the features one. So you could see icon 1, icon 2, icon 3, icon 4, icon 5, icon 6. Let's go to the icon 1. Here is the text. Add whatever you want. Let's say strong quality. What would be like? Let's just type strong. I don't know better word for it. So let's just type strong. This is a circle color. You see, circle color. If you don't want the circle, you could disable it. This is the icon color. You could see. If you don't want the icon color, you could disable it. If you disable it, it will always show whichever the default color your product had. For example, well, I'll show the example. Wait for a second. Let's just change the icon image first. So this is, go in here, and here you could add any icon image you have. Right now I don't have one, so let me just create one. So let's say it's so strong. So what would be strong? Something like this. I don't know. I'll just add anything. So you see it is added here, and let's say there is some color like this in your icon, then it will not show here unless you disable this. So let's say if you disable the icon color, it will show whatever the default icon color is here, and that way we have added an icon perfectly. You could even change the size of your icon like this, make it bigger, smaller, however you wish it to be. Disable the one that you don't want, disable the one that you want, and let's say you want to add more of these sections. So let's say if you want to add one more, so that's one quick easy way to do it. That is, choose whichever you want to duplicate. You could drag the group around here or press Ctrl J to duplicate. I'll drag this below, and in this copy section it will be same, everything will be same to change. So let me just choose like better text. Let's say feature 6, and then everything will be same, the customizations. But the icon image has one problem. If you go in there and let's say I change it to 6, Ctrl S to save, both of these are changing. We don't want that to happen. So what we will do is, in this icon 6 copy, we'll go to the icon image and click new smart object via copy, delete this one, and now if I do any changes here or add any icon here, you see it will be different. And then you could also move it however you wish it to look. Like if you want different way of design or something, you could just move it around however you wish it to be. Well, this doesn't look good right now because I'm just showing I'm not like looking at the design right now, I'm just showing the features. So this is the part 6, or not part 6, sorry, the 5th template from the Infographics template. So I hope you brought this. If you brought, I would like some nice reviews in this comment section or in the product page of the what you call product page, obviously the project page review section. So yeah, thank you.